going on, monsters? It's Mike. I'm back with a new video. Sorry about last week. I was feeling a little under the weather, and I think I may have had a little case of the Rona. Actually, in all seriousness, I was feeling under the weather, and I was doing some stuff with my house, and basically working, and things didn't line up in order for me to do a video last week. So sorry about that. But I do have an awesome video for us this week. Core 2021. Basically, we're going to go through the cards and the card catalog and determine what may be good for Modern, what may be good for Standard, and what may be good for Commander. And just, it's going to be kind of a chill sort of video. And we're just going to go through each thing, and when something catches my eye, I'll analyze it. I may be wrong, I may be right. Who knows? But without further ado, let's get to it. All right, guys and gals, it's time to look at these lovely cards from Core 2021, and we're just gonna start with going on Mythic Spoiler and heading down this road to see what's good and what's not good. So let's start with the Planeswalkers here. So we're gonna look at Basari Ket. This is that Almond Ket Planeswalker. So it's a 3-drop, so I want to see it because usually 3-drop Planeswalkers are pretty good. So put a 1/1 counter on one target creature, gains indestructible to the end of turn. Yeah. And it's -2. It's kind of create a 1/1 or that many 1/1 soldier tokens that are tapped and attacking. So okay, so whenever one or more creatures attack this turn, create that many 1/1. Okay, so it makes a bunch of 1/1s, and then its emblem is you get an emblem at the beginning of your combat. On your turn, create a 1/1 soldier creature token, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Okay, so this looks like it may fit into that mono white list in Standard. I don't know if they need another Planeswalker, if they need a Planeswalker at all, but that seems pretty good because they have so many little dudes. On turn 3, you could be attacking with 3 dudes, and then you can take him, on turn 3, take him down and make 3 more dudes. So I think it's a solid card for that deck in Standard. Don't see it seeing Modern play too much in Commander. I mean, Commander, not anything could be played, but for the most part, if you want to play within Commander, you can. But Teferi Time Master. So this one I've seen, and it's a very cool card. And you may activate its loyalty ability, the loyalty of Teferi, on any player's turn. So, at any time you can cast an instant. Very interesting. We're going to start with Commander. 4 players, you just taking this thing up every turn, and he's very, very good. Draw cards and discard a card. I mean, it's card filtering. It's not any type of card advantage engine, but it is what it is. Target creature you don't control phases out. Okay, my issue with phasing. Phasing's interesting. Most of the time, though, with your creatures, you want to blink your creatures and not phase out your creatures because they don't ETB. They don't enter the battlefield. So, I mean, phasing's cool, but I don't know. I'm just not I would have rather have this thing blink. Also, there's apparently 40 however many a million different copies of this Teferi, different styles that you can get, so that's kind of cool. And it's -10 is a real good Commander one. I mean, that's when you're going to get to it, is probably in Commander, but take 2 extra turns after this one. So good Commander card. I think it's going to see Standard play, and we might be able to figure something out in Modern. 4 is kind of iffy with an ability that doesn't immediately affect the field, so I don't like it too much. Liliana, Walker of the Dead. Now, she is kind of like Liliana the Veil, but worse, because she's a 4-drop. So each player discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. So kind of like an 8-racky ability. Target creature gets XX until the end of turn where the number of creatures are in the graveyard. It's a removal spell, but there's better and a more efficient removal. Cool. I think cool Commander card. I have Commander Kuroxa deck. I'm gonna play that in there because I like pissing people off. And you get an emblem. So its emblem is you get an emblem at the beginning of each combat on your turn. Put target creature from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. I mean, yeah, it's a win condition type of ult. I mean, if you keep incurring that advantage, it's just good. So, not a fan of the art. I don't like it. She looks like she's dressed like an old lady. Chandra. Okay. Discard your hand, and then exile top 3 cards of your library. You may play this card, or play cards exile this way. Yeah, so that fire sort of red card draw ability, which is, good. It's card advantage. 2 damage to any target. I mean, shock is like, a 5 mana shock is not good. I mean, it is a plus ability, so that's interesting too. She's only 5 mana too. It's not terrible. I would, if I'm not even gonna read I don't really care about I don't think she's that good. I'd rather just have Torch of Defiance. And then go Rook. He's back, boys. He is back. Up to 1 creature gets +3/+3 and trample till the end of the turn. He's 4 mana. I don't think the ability. It doesn't protect him, and it doesn't affect the battlefield. I mean, create a 3/3 beast token creature. If your opponent controls more creatures than you, put a loyalty counter on Rook. So you minus, and then you put a counter on him. The thing is, I mean, he does kind of protect himself, but that's all he does. I can't see you ulting this guy, to be honest. You get an emblem at the beginning of your end step. You may search your library for a creature card, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle your library. It takes 4 turns to get to his ult. I think he's just not good. So I don't think he's going to see much play anywhere. Mangara the Diplomat. Okay. So he's a legendary creature, human cleric. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking and you and your planeswalker you control draw a card. It's a great commander card, I think. So that's kind of cool. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. So yeah, I think it's an awesome commander card. I mean, you can play as a commander for mono white, but good commander card. It might see some standard play. I don't know. This is a really interesting card. As long as it's your turn, the spell costs 2 blue, less to cast. So you're casting it's interesting. End the turn. That's what it does. It just ends the turn. And if it's your turn, it costs, what is it, 6 mana? It costs 2 mana. It costs 2 mana if it's your turn. So that's kind of cool. And Vulcan Baga, awesome artist, is real cool. I have him on my Facebook, and he's got a lot of nice art, other than Magic too. So I don't see it seeing an insane amount of play. Maybe somebody figure out something in standard, but I don't see it being played a lot. It's a good commander card if you're playing blue. I mean, it's okay. Now Grim Tutor. This card was expensive. Definitely needed a reprint. There are better tutor cards, but I also think it's slow enough for modern, in the sense of it's still playable and it's not broken. It's not like Vampiric Tutor, or it's not any of the other black tutors that are 2 or less mana. So it's a solid card. I think it's probably going to see a little bit of standard play. Maybe there might be some sort of combo deck. It might help if Kethis combo was a thing or is a thing. I don't think it is, but it might actually help that deck. I don't see it being played in any sort of controller mid-range deck in Modern. In something like Jund or Death Shadow, you're not playing Grim Tutor. Well, maybe Death Shadow because the loss of life, but like you taking a turn off is not good. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna go over every card. I'm gonna look at them, and then when something catches my eye, we'll look at it. I just want to kind of go over the first couple because these are all mythics, so the mythics we'll go over. It says this is an enchantment, Fiery Emancipation. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent player instead. So it just deals 3 times. So your bolts deal 9 damage, which is insane. But I mean, it is 6 mana. So anything. So this ends the game very quick. It's probably maybe somebody will come up with something. I have a feeling that this card could be broken. Okay, Elder Gargaroth. It is an Elder Beast. I love that because there's a South Park episode. He's like, I summon an Elder Beast. Anyways, that was in the episode Cock Magic. Go watch it. It's funny. Elder Gargaroth. It has Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Whenever it attacks or blocks, create a 3/3. You gain 3 life or draw a card. I think this card is bonkers in Standard. I don't think it'll see much modern play. I think it's super good in Commander. Green is always good in Commander. This card is very good. It does a lot for 5 mana. It doesn't immediately affect the board, but I feel like in those over-the-top green decks or like mid-range ramp decks in Standard, you would want to play this. I mean, you got to think too, there's a lot of stuff rotating out. Not in Core 2021, but after that, like Cavalier will rotate out. There's a lot of the 5 mana green things are going to rotate out, and this is a good replacement card. It affects the board very positively after a turn. It also makes your opponents think before like going in with mono or aggro. Like you slam this down, and they probably can attack for lethal. At this point, they probably can't anymore because you're going to gain that 3 life. I think this card is very, very good in Standard. I think it's going to see a lot of Standard play once people realize how impactful it is. I don't even need to. I don't think I need to talk about Baneslayer Angel. I'm gonna, but actually, hold on. Back to the Elder Gargaroth. It blocks Hex. I can't think of the name. It blocks a lot of the flyers in the Standard format right now. Like, there's a lot of them that are like finishers. So I think that's relevant too. But all right, so to Baneslayer Angel. Flying first strike, lifelink, protection from demons and dragons. That's not too relevant, the demons and dragons thing. It's just good. It's a Sarah Angel that has lifelink and a protection from some things. So it's 5/5 also. So I think it's good. It's the value you want for a 5 mana creature in white or any color really. All right, so I'm going to talk about this guy. I absolutely love this guy. I think he is an insane tempo card, or can be an insane tempo card. So, Baron, Tolarian Archmage, enters the battlefield to return up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. So you can do yours or theirs, which is kind of cool. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield, draw a card. Okay. It's a human and a wizard. At one point, there was a human deck, or a wizard's deck in Modern. And, I mean, I'm not saying this is going to make it over the top or break it or whatever, but I also think that having the utility of bumping a card back to your opponent's hand and putting them off tempo, and being able to bounce back your Snapcaster Mages, drawing a card and gaining value, I mean, this can help turn other decks into a tempo deck or a control deck at the same time. It has a lot of utility, and I think this card is a lot more powerful than I think people are seeing it as right now. A lot of people are like, it's all right. I think the card is very, very good. It is a legendary creature. I mean, I want to bounce back my own Snapcaster mages, and that seems cool. And then, like, you could just move out a Tarmogoyf for if they have a Titan, Primeval Titan on the field. If you're playing, like, some sort of human build, you can always, it's kind of, it has that Reflector Mage sort of ability. So you can bounce back a Titan on their turn, or bounce back your own Reflector Mage, replay the Reflector Mage, do something in the human build. I think this card is very good. I think right now, honestly it's underrated. I don't think a lot of people are thinking that it's very powerful. I like it. So I think it could fit into that like tier 2, tier 3 wizard strategy, and then humans, I think it can slot in, or at least sideboard in. Massacre Worm, we all know, well, we don't all know, but there's massacre creatures that do things. They give -2, -2, or -1, -1. Whenever, so basically, when Massacre Worm enters the battlefield, the creatures your opponent controls gets -2, -2 until the end of the turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. So, I mean, you just nuke the board and deal massive damage to them. Terror of Peaks. I haven't seen this one yet, so let's read this together. All right, so flying, spells your opponent casts that target Terror of Peaks cost an additional 3. So it's like got that Frost Titan or that Frost type ability. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. This card is actually I like this card. It's a finisher. It's just a 5/4 flyer. It reminds me, right there. This reminded me of Thunderbreak Regent for some reason, but that's the reason why. It's interesting. Oh, never mind. That's not. Okay, I thought it was 3 mana. Sorry, it's 3 life. So it deals 3 life to the opponent. So if they're gonna kill it, they take an extra couple damage. So whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of Peaks. So the Terror of Peaks will deal damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Okay, so the Terror will deal the damage. I mean, if your guys are having like flying battles between Baneslayer Angels and in Standard, I mean, that's kind of cool. But to be honest, I think the card's going to see Standard play. It's a very good red card. Azusa, if you're familiar with Modern, this has a home in a few decks in Modern, mostly Amulet Titan, but he's playing some other decks too. But this card is, it needed kind of a reprint, so that's awesome. All right, let's look at some of these other cards. Interesting. This is, now my opinion about this is that this is probably one of the better core sets. So yeah. All right. So Ghostly Pilfer. Whenever Ghostly Pilfer becomes untapped, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. So that's very interesting. So you may pay 2, not 2 life, but you may pay 2, draw a card. So it's a card draw engine-ish. Whenever an opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. So that's kind of cool. So if they cast, like, they have snaps, they cast from the grave, lingering souls, just different types of abilities like that. That's awesome, actually. That's a really good card. It's not bad. I mean, so discard a card and Pilfer can't be blocked this turn. It's a pseudo. I don't know if it's going to see play in Spirits in Modern, or I totally forgot about Pioneer being a format, but it might see play in Pioneer. I think it's very Pioneer playable. People play Pioneer? I play Pioneer. I like it. Let's see what else we got here. Like that. Feline Sovereign. Now, there's a lot of cats and dogs in here in the set. Very interesting. I think cats are starting to get a lot of tribal stuff and tribal synergy. So This one is a lord for cats. Other cats you control get +1/+1, have pro dog. So they're protection from dogs. My dogs would not like that. Whenever one or more cats you control deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to one target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Excuse me. That's good. I mean, lung up artifacts or enchantments, interesting. It's internal hate in the deck. I started brewing up a little cat deck in Modern and on MTGO, but it's not good. It's real bad. Containment Priest. Okay. This card needed a reprint in a standard set. It's not necessarily going to affect standard, but it's going to affect every other format below it. If you're playing white, you're playing this card in the sideboard. We're not seeing a lot of Gristlebrand decks or Through the Breach type decks or anything like that. But if we do, we have this as an option. So Containment Priest, what it is, and which is awesome, it has flash. So it can flash in. If a token or non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. You can flash this in when they play Collected Company and just out anything they have. Or they Through the Breach trying to kill you, you can flash this in with Containment Priest. Or you can flash in Containment Priest because she has flash. Awesome card. Great sideboard card. Yet again, white gets another good sideboard card. So, See the Truth. I think when I read this card, I liked it. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of those cards in your hand, and the rest at the bottom of your library in order. If this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards into your hand instead. I think this card has modern play potential. I know it's going to be played in standard. It's definitely going to be played in standard. And in probably Pioneer. It's a good card in Commander, so that's good. So we're going to jump on the Kervik the Spiteful. I am not a fan of this card. I love black cards. My favorite colors are obviously the Jund colors, but I don't think this card is good. Other creatures get -1/-1. It's a 3/2. It's so fragile. It's 4 mana. I'm not a fan. I wish it said -2/-2, but then that might have been like busted. It might see a tiny bit of play somewhere as a sideboard card, but I feel like if you're playing this, you're just playing a board wipe. Like, if I'm playing Modern, I'm just playing Damnation instead. Or Plague Engineer, because Plague Engineer is way better. It's 1 less mana. It's a 2/2, but it has Death Touch, and it doesn't affect your field. It affects their field, the opponent's field only. So I think the card is underpowered. It's been power crept by cards that were previously made. So this card is very good. I know what this does. If you don't know what this does and you're not familiar, there's a video that Jim Davis just made, and basically he goes through what this is, and there's a combo with Kikijiki Mirror Breaker and another goblin. I don't remember off the top of my head, but basically there's an infinite combo. Off the top, without looking at any other cards that this has to deal with, and just some of the text on this card itself, as Goblin Rogue, play the top card of your library or field. You may cast goblin spells from the top of your library. Goblins in Modern is super underrated. Everybody thinks goblins just smash aggro, and in my opinion, goblins are such a utility type control deck that can go wide and can do a lot of non-combat damage to you using other cards. I mean, Munitions Expert's awesome. There's a whole bunch, that deals damage to a creature, but it's an efficient removal spell. This card is very, very good. It allows goblins to play a mid-range type control strategy even better than what they were doing. So it's last ability, and this is where Kikijiki comes in. As long as the top card of your library is a goblin card, Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. Kikijiki is a legendary. If it's on top, though, you can Conspicuous Snoop, tap. It's a goblin rogue. It's a creature. It's not legendary. So you could just keep doing that and then tap out. So you can have infinite conspicuous snoops, basically. And then there's another card. So it's very good. In Standard, I think it's going to see play because there's a lot of Standard goblins that could be played. And then also in Pioneer. I think Pioneer goblins can be tier 1 or 2. Hopefully. So they've been printing some decent goblins. And then, with Modern Horizons, they had some goblins in there that got printed. Heroic Intervention. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of the turn. This is a reprint. Awesome. I think it was in the Kaladesh set or Aether Revolt. I'm not sure exactly. But card needed to reprint because it was pushing like $20 at one point. I think it was like $20. It could have been $10-$20. So good reprint. So good card for Standard, I think, and good card for it sees some play in Pioneer, and it also does see some play in Modern. I don't exactly know Idol of the card's not that good. I'm not even gonna go through the cards that are not that I don't. Shacklegeist. This card. Shacklegeist can block only creatures with flying. Tap 2 untapped spirits you control. Tap target creature you don't control. So it taps down big idiots, I guess. I think this card's actually very interesting. Liliana Standard Bearer. I think it'll see Standard play. So Liliana Standard Bearer will see Standard play. Zombie Knight Flash. When it enters the battlefield, draw X cards where X is the number of creatures that died under your control's turn. So it's a recovery card. If you're getting board wiped, and zombies are, like prone to that. Like you just get nuked and you have no other options. It's a recovery option. It has Flash, so that's nice too. Very good commander card in red decks. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Good commander card, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of that. All right, let's go through some. All right, let's talk about this card. Necromentia. Choose a card other than a basic land card name. Search target opponent's grave, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles their library. Then create a 2/2 black zombie creature token for each card exiled this way. Okay. For each card exiled this way. Yeah, okay. I want to see it. This might be pushing it, but I want to see a 2-mana card with this type of ability. Only because this hits lands. And Tron is a powerhouse. And this is for Modern. You can hit a Tron land. And you go Urza's Tower. And then you just nuke everything. All the Urza Towers. Or whatever one land you need to do. The only issue is this is a 3-mana card, which on turn 3 they usually have Tron. If they don't, they're unlucky and they're probably not going to win that game, or they might win the game anyway. They have inevitability, so that doesn't necessarily do too much. But I do think there is a case for this card to be a sideboard card. It does do a lot of things. You can hit you can hit anything. The only issue is the 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, but I don't see them getting more than 2, really. If they have it in their hand. So I don't see them getting more than 2. So it's not bad. This is a good card. I think this is going to see a lot of sideboard play across all formats. I don't think it's going to see much commander play. But yeah. All right. Gadrick, the Crown Scourged. It's 3 mana. It's 2 in a red. Legendary creature, dragon, flying. It cannot attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token that died this way. It is a 5/4 for 3 mana, which is really good. I think this might have some sort of thing in Pioneer with Mox Amber or some artifact type deck. It is red, which, but I think it could be very powerful. Yeah, I think it could be very, very powerful. Can't attack unless you... I mean, it can still block. It's the same thing that it's the same issue kind of that I forgot the green card's name. It's in not Theros, but it's the one that makes the 1/1 and it can't attack if you don't have a 1/1 on the field. Kind of the same premise. And it's also 3 mana. So we're seeing a lot more lower curve creatures, and they have the drawback where they can't attack for some sort of I don't know how to explain this, but this is not that hard to do. So we'll see. Time will only tell. Just because it's dog. It's 2 mana, 2/2. It's a bear. It's actually a dog. It's not a bear, but it's a dog bear. No, it's just a dog. Oh, it's cute. It's 2 arts. How cute is that? A little collie. All right. So other dogs you control get 1/1. Whenever it attacks, prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn to dogs you control. So dogs. Yeah. What can I say? They're cute. They're adorable. Okay. Sublime Epiphany. A very expensive cryptic command. That's what I call this. A very expensive cryptic command. Counter target spell. Counter target activated triggered ability. Return non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Create a token copy of a creature you control. And target player draws a card. It's just a very expensive cryptic command. That's exactly what I think this card is. It is a 2-for-1. I mean, at worst. At worst. Counter draw. It's a cryptic command at worst. Which is like there's worse things you can be than a cryptic command. So, card's good. Why did it go all the way down? Interesting. Eek. Okay. All right. Now, Sabira, I think it's going to see some mono red play. It may not. 3 mana is kind of expensive for its stats, but it does give some things evasion, and it allows you to discard your hand until the end of turn whenever creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So it allows you to cycle cards, which I like. Skrubz! Awesome. I am so happy about this. I mean, it's not an expensive card, but I want to play this Altar Art and Jund foil. I want this foil. That's what I'm excited for. So, we already know it sees Modern play. We know it already sees Pioneer play. This is definitely going to see Standard play. Like, hands down. It's a very good card. I can't wait to take people's Uros and Kuroxas and just eat them. So, there's that. Ruined Halo, needed a reprint. It wasn't expensive, but awesome. It's got an extended art too. Ruined Halo is choose a card name. You have protection from the chosen name, so you just protect yourself from a card. Okay, this has combo potential. Transmorgify. Exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal a creature card. That player puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles the rest of the library. Shuffles the rest of the library. So you basically exile a creature, and then you put a creature on the field. So you, like trying to put Emrakul on the field or something like that. So just little combo type things. Spore Web Weaver. I don't know why I laugh at this thing. It's just funny. It's another spider. But these are always good in draft and sealed. I love spiders in draft and sealed. 1/4 with reach. So reach and hexproof from blue. Interesting. Like there's not a lot of things that target blue or target with blue. So hexproof from blue is okay. Whenever Spore Web Weaver is dealt damage, you gain 1 life and create a 1/1 green Sapperling token. So it makes them think twice before attacking. It makes Sapperlings good. I don't know how I feel about this. This spell costs X less to cast or X total power creatures you control. It's 6 damage though. Like it's a lot of mana. Yeah, it gets reduced. It's not that damn dinosaur that was 12 mana that you can get out on like turn 3. That's not the same thing. This is not that impactful. 6 damage can finish off a game, but it's just not. I'm not a fan of this. I like this card, but it does have a huge drawback of the 4/4 White Angel creature token. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Its controller. It answers planeswalkers, which is nice. It's decent removal. It may see some sort of fringe place somewhere. I don't know. And you can make your own things a 4/4 angel. That's kind of cool. And we're on the uncommons now, so that's nice. And I might miss a card. I might look. I'm just looking, browsing, see if anything's good here. I just feel like I want to talk about this card. Counter instant or sorcery unless it's controlled, please 3. It's a mana leak-esque, but for instance and sorceries, I feel like Spell Pierce just does better. It just covers more. Because you can hit planeswalkers too with Spell Pierce, which is nice. This doesn't do that. I think it's still good. It's still playable, especially if everybody's slinging lightning bolts or lightning strikes or whatever. So we'll see. Cultivate. We know what this does. Great commander card. Staple if you're playing green in commander. It's going to be awesome for standard because the ramp decks, like Uro type decks and all that stuff, it just gives you another ramp option on turn 3 if you don't have an Uro in your hand. So yeah. I think this is going to see play in the modern white deck again, that little counters deck. So put a 1/1 on each creature you control. So that mono white deck, you're just going to spit out a bunch of tokens. Control decks are probably going to play this, I think, in Standard or Pioneer. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. So you're just... If anybody's familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's Graceful Charity. Except you're only discarding a card and not 2 cards. So, it's good. It's a good card. It's, do it at the end of the turn 4. I think this card's good. I think any card that gives you card advantage is a good card. When Fierce Empath enters the battlefield, you search your library for a creature card with converted mana to 6 or greater. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your library. It's a tutor. It's a tutor for big boys. So, it doesn't have the best stats, but I'm fine with it. I think it's playable. So this is a pacifism. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Enchanted permanent can't attack, block. Its activated abilities can't be activated. So it's good in sealed and draft. Other than that, it's not that good. Rewind. It's counterspell, untap 4 lands. I think the card's good. I think you're gonna see it played. I like this card a lot. It sure is going to see standard play. It may see some Pioneer play. I don't know if it'll see Modern play. If you're playing green and black and Modern, you're just playing Abrupt Decay because it's better. It just hits more things. This is going to see standard play. 100%. So let's see. It's a unique card. It's interesting. Return target permanent from the graveyard to your hand. If a creature died this turn, create 2 1/1 Sapperling tokens. So you can do this in response to your creature dying and return whatever you want. I like it. It's good. It's cool. It does things. All right. Sorry. I have to get back to where I was at. Oh, dang. A lot of cards in this set. Okay. Shrines are back. That's kind of cool. Cut Yourself Freebooter. We know that's a played Modern card. It's played in Humans and Modern, so. This card is really good. I think we're gonna definitely see some play in Standard. And it's definitely gonna see play in Commander. I mean, there's a card that's like this. It's already played in Commander, but this is just better. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card when this enters the battlefield, and then whenever a creature with 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So it just draws cards for playing Big Dumb Idiots. You're rewarded for playing Big Dumb Idiots. This is a slow, grindy card. I don't know what to make of it. I thought it was for each life at first, but no, it's only if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 2/2 White Griffin. So it's good. It's like you gain life and then you just make a token. So that's kind of cool. Griffinary. It's a standard type Termaglyph-ish. I don't think it's as good as Termaglyph, but whenever you cast a spell, it's white, blue, black, or red. Put a 1/1 counter on Kyrian Dryad. So, I mean, it's a beat stick. It's a 1/1, but then it gets bigger. It's a beat stick. Interesting. Okay. I'm not going to go through the shrines. I think they're all meh. They're not really worth mentioning by themselves. Brontodon, if you're playing mono green or if you're playing a green type deck, I think you're gonna see more play. You're gonna see play. It's 3/4 for 3 mana. It's good. Says unsubstantiate. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hands. A remand without the draw, and you can hit things on the field. So, not bad. All these uncommons are not that great. I like that this got a downgrade, even though it should be very interesting in draft and sealed. So non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. It's flying 2/1 for 3 mana. It's a Dahlia's Lieutenant for 3 mana, and it has flying. Which is Cauldron. Ooh. Let's talk about the Colossal Dreadmaw. This is a meme because they just reprinted this a million times. It's just a 6/6 Trampler. I'm happy with it. I like 6/6 Tramplers in sealed and draft. So it is Bomb Boy. Capture Seer, obviously it's a good draft card. Sealed card. Crash Through. Nice. That's a mono red. Will definitely be playing that. Life Goes On. I think that's a great card. You gain 4 life. It's a good sideboard card. for different formats. It's played in some formats. Duress is good. Lofty Denial. Counter target spell unless it's control pays 1. So, Force Spike. If you control a creature with flying, counter that spell unless controls pay 4. I think this will see some play somehow. It might see some like sideboard play. Defiant Strike Opt is back in. Finishing Blow. Creature Planeswalker. For Grasp of Darkness. Definitely will see standard play. It's very good. And I don't think there's... Well, we got to get to the colorless cards. I'm just going to skip over the uncommons and commons. I am not too thrilled about them. I mean, we know what we like in the color card. It's a good core set. It's a little recap about what I think is going to be played. I think the Teferi is definitely going to see a good amount of play. I think the Grim Tutor, the Elder Gargaroth, Baneslayer, Baron, Azusa, we know that. I think the Terror of the Peaks, the Pilfer might see a little play here and there. Containment Priest, a lot of sideboard play. And See the Truth, Intervention, Shacklegeists. I don't see any cards that like might be an expensive card, like a super expensive. Bastard Cat might see play too. Sorry about that. Teferi might be the one that everybody wants to go after in this set, and the Mangara, some people might want to go after, and the Elder Beast. The Elder Beast is another one too. So that's for the color cards. The multicolor cards. Rin and Siri the Inseparable. Okay. This is a cat dog. Well, it's a dog cat, but they should have named it cat dog because that would be cool. Whenever you cast a dog spell, create a 1/1 cat token. Whenever you create a cat spell or cast a cat spell, create a 1/1 dog creature token. Red, green, white, Naya. Ren and Stimpy, Inseparable deals damage to any target equal to the number of dogs you control. So, and then you gain life for equal number of cats you control. So it bombs them. Yeah, it's a good commander. You're gonna see people play this in commander. They're gonna make a dog cat deck. Let's look at this guy because I love 2 mana cards. 2 mana, blue white. Flash. Nimby, Esteemed Speaker, enters the battlefield. You may return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, you gain life equal to the creature converted mana cost. Discard a legendary card. Draw 2 cards. This is alright. I'm not a huge fan. It's a good commander card. It might see a little bit of play in standard. I'm not going to go through the shrine stuff. It's got a lot of text. I don't feel like reading it. No, it's just... It deals with the shrine. I think in historic, it might have the most impact because I know they put some shrines in historic. So if you didn't know that, on Arena and historic, there's shrines. So I like this card a lot. Radha, Heart of Keld. 3 mana, 1 red, green, elf warrior. You may look at the top card of your library, and you may play lands from the top of your library. It's just a 3/3 for 3 that can give you some value. And then it has a mana sync ability, which it gets XX until the end of turn, where X is the number of lands you control. So it could be a finisher. I think people are going to see a lot more commander play. That's definitely a commander card. I'm not going to go over these guys. I don't think there's... Let's talk about the card that's going to be the chase card in the set. It's actually not that expensive right now either. Ugin. I don't know what got into their mind to think that would be great to be in a standard set. I think it's going to be very oppressive. You have so much ramp and so much stuff just to get out Ugin on turn 3. You're going to see a lot of matches go that way where like you're just either casting it or cheating it out from the deck. There's different cards with the mutate ability that you can cheat this thing Ugin out on turn 3. Ugin deals its +2, so it goes up 2. 3 damage to target creature player. Exile, its X is a board wipe. Exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. So you can board wipe up to 7 and just nuke the field. And then its ult is you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, put 7 permanents from your hand to the battlefield. So you win when you ult. That's just it. Awesome. So that's the Ugin. Chromatic Ori. Just this card is just like I think it'll probably see some commander play. You may spend mana as any color. Draw a card for each colored permanent you control. So it has a mana sync ability. It's a mana ramp card, even though you're already ramped at that point. All right. I think this card will see standard play, and it might have some sort of eternal format play. Put a page counter on, so tap, put a page counter on Maze Mind Tome, scry 1. 2, put a page counter on Maze Mind Tome, draw a card. So you can draw cards, or you could just naturally do it by itself. So I think it's good that it has a mana sync ability on it. And then its final is when there are 4 or more page counters on Maze Mind Tome, exile. If you do, you gain 4 life, which is like not that good. I mean, it's not that good. Solemn Simulacrum, yay, more mana ramp. Good for commander, so I'm glad about the reprint. Give some commander players, some stuff, some reprint stuff. I don't think it should be in standard. I think the card's just very powerful and overpowerful. It puts a land into play, and then it also draws you a card when it dies. So, Spark Hunter, Masticore. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may discard a card. Pro Planeswalkers, so it can't be messed with by Planeswalkers. It deals 1 damage to target Planeswalker for 1 mana, and then it gains indestructible until the end of turn. So you got to discard a card. It's a -2, but it has Pro Planeswalker. It reminds me of Masticore, the original one. So that's down here. You can see them. There's a bunch of Masticores. Cool card. Its stats are good for what it is too. I mean, I think it should have been a 4/4 if you're going to discard a card, but that's just me. And then we get our cycle of lands, which are not good. We get temples. Yay, temples. I don't like the art of this. And this is it. That's it. That's what we get. Well, we get Fabled Passage, Animal Sanctuary, which is interesting because there's going to be a lot of cats. There's cats. Put a 1/1 counter on target bird cat. It's just a menacing card. So, let's go back down. Let's see, is there anything else? And that, there's some Planeswalker deck cards. They're usually trash. I'm not going to go through them. I don't feel like going through the Planeswalker cards. They're mostly trash. And Radiant Fountain. So Radiant Fountain's the last card. All right. So what do I think about this set? Ugin's in it, so that's nice. So that's a good chase. I think it's good that they put a very highly valuable chase card in here. Just so people buy the cards that don't really may not want any of this other stuff. Teferi's good. Bastard. The Planeswalkers are good. I think for a core set, it's a pretty good core set. We've got Azusa. That card was expensive. It's now $10.99. It's cheaper than what it was because it's getting the reprint. You've got a lot of good standard stuff in here. I think when this set will shine is when rotation actually happens and everything rotates out of standard. So there's that. And like when the Cavaliers and all those other things rotate, you're going to be seeing people picking cards from this set a lot more. Right now, as it stands, I don't think it's the most powerful set in standard, but I do think it's the most powerful core set we've got in a while. So with that being said, I'm going to go through my top 5 picks here. And they're not in any order. They're just like the top 5 cards that I like, that I think we'll see play across everything and I like. So my top 5 would be Grim Tutor. Love the card. Elder Gargaroth. Baron Talarian Archmage. And I wasn't a fan of a lot of the rares, but Conspicuous Snoop, and then finally Ugin. So those are the cards that I think will, not that I think will do anything very good, but I mean they're good in general. They're just the top 5 that I like. So if you like this, give me thumbs up. If you don't, give me thumbs down. That's fine too. If you want, subscribe. That'd be awesome. It would help the channel out a lot. And I will be seeing you guys next time. Got some good ideas coming up.